Hello everyone, welcome back to another tutorial video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make my hybrid jet. It's a little complicated, but I'm sure we'll all muddle through it, and maybe I'll even remember how to build it because I'm doing this after a very relaxing weekend. So let's see if I can do this for y'all. So I've lined up what you'll need. So you will need, I'll need to get out of the photo mode. You'll need a painted beam, colored black, metal beam. You'll need outer corner extension, 1 meter. You'll need a beam support, a braided cable, a label sign that's 2 meters, a square sign that's also 2 meters, a round concrete beam, an H-beam, and a small square 0.5 meter sign. So, I'll just get rid of this one. So what you'll need is you'll need a grid. If you've done the perfect circle, you'll understand what the grid is. For those of you, this is your first tutorial video of mine, welcome. So, I actually needed that for reference. So we're going to put this right here in the blueprint, just so I can remember how to make this. Because I don't remember how to make this. You can just build this out in a regular 3 meter grid X, and then you build up from the center and just give it a twist so that the edges are perfectly on each beam. And then you build out from the center. Don't make a liar out of me. There we go. So you want to build this out a little far, and then you just nudge it down 1, just because it's easier to build that way. Okay, so you want that. Then you grab your outer corner extension. That actually fits quite nicely. I'll have to use that later in another build. And then you hold control. I don't know what it is on console, don't ask. Just nudge it in like that, and then you can get rid of these beams. And make sure you nudge it in, because you want that overlap. That's part of the design. Yeah, make sure you get rid of the beams beforehand. Okay, now that you've got these out and extended, it's not part of the finished product, but you're going to need a pillar. For this, it doesn't really matter which one of these 3 you use, just as long as you use one. I'm going to use the concrete pillar. Just put 1 on each end. That'll be important for the rusters later on. And you just get rid of these beams. Okay, so we're going to build the top first, and then we'll do the bottom. So we're going to go from the side, build up. I think this is 4 meters, no, 3. I'm building this one up. Okay, so it is 3 meters. I'm not going to rebuild that. I'll just correct it. Even though this is 1 meter below that, I'm just going to leave it there. So we're going to want to put these beams on each side twisted so that the horizontal, I don't know how to say it, so that the horizontal line is spacing out on each corner. And you just hold control and nudge it in on each side. Now for the sides. Take 1 painted beam, and normally the painted beam is orange, but in order to get it black, what I like to call blacker than black, because if you just do normal black, I think I might have said this in the last video I did. Oh, that's white. If you just do it normal black, it's just going to show up. Actually, it'll show up pretty good. Yeah. No, I guess you don't have to do blacker than black. My mistake. Although that will come up, I think, with the signs. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, get your painted beam. And then just twist it so it's facing... So the flat part is facing the curve. And just kind of nudge it in. It'll take a little bit to nudge it in properly. Now you get another metal beam, and you go to the side of the painted beam. So you want the outside to be kind of like that. Yeah, just a bit of an angle. Right there. So if you can actually see it better from the top. So make sure that these are lined up perfectly. And then you've got that nice angled right here. Don't worry about the clipping. We'll be covering the clipping up. And then you get another painted beam. And you just kind of slot it in here. Now, I'm just going to say this because everybody likes their own style. You can switch these up. You can use different colors. You can use different styles of beams. It's all up to you. This is just a guide on how to make this exact one. So that's how you make the sides. And then for... Oh, I've got these on both sides. Okay. So, I don't quite have this angled so it mirrors this one. Oh no, I do. Okay. It's just these beams are not really lining up the way I want them, so... You know what? This is a good example of what I was just talking about. So we're just going to fill in the rest of these with the painted beams and with the metal beams, and then I will show you what I mean. Okay. So this one is going to be a little bit different than this one, but like I said, it's a good example of how you can vary these design on your own. Again, this is just how to make this style of hover jet. So I'm going to put these round pillars, maybe move it up a little bit. I can still see the inside. We want to block off the inside entirely. So we're just going to put these right here. It's got 2 round orbs and a long shaft. We're just going to leave it like that. So this is a good example, like I was telling, just make your own design if you want. Use your own little pillars. So we're going to take another one of these, and we're going to overlap on top of the other outer extension. And just going to nudge the hologram up. And have it sit right on top, I think. Yeah. That way the clipping is all hidden. And it looks like it's got a place for the engine. Oops. Okay. And now we grab our H-beams. We bring them out. How far do I bring them out? It's about 2 meters. Yeah, 2 meters. Bring your H-beam out. In default, 2 meters, and then you just spin them around. Make sure they're aligned with that little indent, which I told you was important before. And just get it properly lined up so it looks like it's attached. Now that you got all your little H-beams attached, it's time to do the inside. So we're going to go right from the center of this I-beam, and we're going to come out freeform. Don't worry, we want that little nubbin of the outer corner extension right there. We're just going to go freeform from one corner to the next, keeping it at 2.693 meters. Okay. Now that we've got our cap for our jet engine, it's time to create the little spaces for the lights. This one we're going to want default mode. We just come out, build one there, and then we're going to build another one. Make sure you have it in this direction, so maybe go up a little bit if you need to, but remember to keep it at 1 meter. You're going to hold that hologram. You're going to go 1 meter nudges down, and then back, and then in. And now we've got a little platform for our lights. Now this one I've already got set up as what kind of light I need it as. I will make up a one just so you guys know exactly what you do. So you get your 0.5 meter sign. Hologram, 1 meter down nudge. Now you go in and you go to backgrounds for the icon, select no background. Layout should be 1-tone color. Since it is the black color, we're going to want this one, and we're going to do 10 or 1. Actually, I think 1 will just be fine. We don't need to go 10 on that. Make sure mission string is at 3, and you got a little light. And just repeat that process on every little bulge you can see right here. Okay, and that's the top section done. Got all your lights, got all your I-beams, and now for the thrusters. Get rid of that. Okay, so I made a bit of a mistake with these pillars, so get rid of these. So what you want to do is you want to go between these little indents, this beam, take a painted beam, put it out about 4 meters, be fine. Then take one of the small concrete pillars and just put it on the end. And do that on each of the 4 sides. This one will... No, this one also will stay. Okay, what you're going to want to do is grab your small beam pillar, or sorry, your beam support right here, put it on the end, go all the way in and down, make sure you have about, you're going to have to eyeball it, so make sure you have about this much clearance between the end of the circle and your beam support. I recommend going over to this side and just making sure it's the same distance. So right now it looks pretty much the same. Once you have your beam supports all down here, grab another one, and since we are making a, I don't actually know the technical term for like the housing or the jet flanges that kind of like point down and out and direct jet flow. We're just gonna call them flanges for now. You're gonna want to put 2 beam supports and make sure that they are far enough apart so you can see the separate support rings here. Hello. Hello. Okay, once you have all of those down, you can go ahead and grab one of your signs. So since I've already got this sign all set up, I'm just going to show you the colors. So again, we have no background in the icon, no background, and here we have emission strength to 3. Go to your bottom color. You can use whatever color you want. I'm using blue, that's 235, 1, and 1. So I'm just going to copy that. And we're going to use this pillar as our guide to nudge it in. It should nudge in perfectly like that. And then since you've got the sign there, you want to bring this up 1 nudge, so that's a 2 meter nudge, into there. And repeat. So once you have all of your exhaust colors down, you want to grab a beam. Want to grab a painted beam. Sorry, Betsy, I'm stealing your thing. And then you want to grab your sign. So these are just regular 2-meter signs that I have turned to black, no text, no icon, and it is just the black setting on the bottom color. Which is strength of 1. Then once you've got 1 down, 2, and repeat until each one has a little sign buddy. That should give you about 1 sign clearance between them. Okay, once you have all your signs down, you can go ahead and get rid of these reference points. I'm not going to need them anymore. We're almost done. You'll want to grab a small square 1-meter sign. I don't think I included it in the items list. No, I didn't. Oh, I apologize for that. But yes, you do need a 1-meter square sign. You're going to paint it in the same color as this, so just take the colors and the gloss and all of that and put it onto your square sign. Now, since this is a little bit differently designed than this one, it's not going to look, the bottom is not going to look exactly the same, but I can live with that. If you can't, I'm sorry. There's not a whole lot I can do about that. I don't build these things with tutorials in mind, so we can leave it filled like that, or I can put a 2-meter sign, label sign on it, on each side, just to give it a bit more layer and color. Again, I'll have to change the sign color, give it text, background, and change this to a 235 blue with mission strength 3. I can't seem to twist it and turn it the way I want it. So I think for this version, I'm just going to get rid of them. We'll just put more around the edges, just lining them up with the signs as best I can. There we go. I love nudging. I love nudging. Nudged. And there we go. Not a perfect replica, but we have one piece missing. We're not done. We're not done. We're not done. We need your braided cable. So put it right here, and then just get the diagonal or freeform. Freeform. Yeah, just get it right there, and then you want to nudge that in place too. Take a little work to make sure it doesn't show through the other side. There you go. Now we're finished. And now you have not an exact replica, but nobody will know the difference unless you tell them. Hoverjet for your own personal use. Since I already have a blueprint of that, we're just going to grab that. And if you want to get a bigger platform floating, you can just simply put the blueprint in the blueprint maker. I like to do half nudges, just to keep it as tight as possible, because this is only a 4x4 blueprinter. And there you go. I mean, it's not perfectly lined up with this one, but if you make them all the same kind, they will all perfectly line up with height. So, yeah, there you go. Hoverjets. You can make your very own single or 5 hoverjet system, so your floating platforms don't look like crap. I hope that was useful. Guys, enjoy. If we don't catch you in the next video, good morning, good afternoon, good evening.